So, Namaskaram, ladies and gentlemen. This is CA Sudarshan and hope you are killing it in your studies. So, what I want to say is that we at THARUN'S Brainery, we are launching a new CMA Final Navigator program. So, what do you mean by this Navigator? And this video is specifically only for CMA students who are writing their final attempt in the upcoming any months, any attempt, whatever it is. From December onwards, any attempt. So the intent with this video is to give you a clarity about how I will be approaching my subject, that is specifically auditing, and how our entire navigator program will be tailored for each of your needs. That is another thing. Then what you can expect from this. Then basically a demo lecture about how I am teaching audit subject to you. You just need to know, right, how good of a teacher I am. Then only you can, because you are spending your money, you have the right to get like a taste of what you are going to get, right? So first of all, let me introduce myself, then I'll introduce CMA Navigator program. So I am CA Sudarshan Yadunad, and I have completed my articleship specifically, almost 80% of my articleship, 70 to 80% of my articleship is just in the audit department. And after that also I have a lot of experiences in conducting audits and consulting. So understand this one thing, and I'm also very passionate and I'm so good at learning about businesses, about the costing structure, everything. I'm not a cost management, I'm not a CMA, but I'm so good at looking at the cost structure. I've consulted many businesses for their costing, all these things. So understand this one thing, I I can teach you your subject really well. This is one thing that you need to understand. Then the second fact is that we'll see, I am your cost and management audit faculty. Then the second thing you need to understand is that what is CMA Final Navigator? What is the name Navigator suggest? Because why we have why THARUN'S Brainery, like our team of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 faculties. I mean, specifically headed by Tharun sir, and like Tharun sir and our team of 7 faculties. Why have we designed this program? Why? Like, it was the vision of Tharun sir, and like, what was his vision? Why this name what this name Navigator suggests on this? So this is what you need to understand. Navigate means, for a ship, just think about a ship. If a ship has to go from USA to California, sorry, from USA, some California to in Dubai, see, there should be a navigator to give you a proper route. If the ship or that flight doesn't have the proper route, what will happen? If you have to go from here to here, this is a straight line, you can go this is what we call navigation. If there is proper navigation, this is a straight line, you can easily go, this is a route. But if you don't know this navigation, what will happen? That is what you have to think of. If you don't know this navigation, sometimes you will go to here, sometimes you will go from here to here, then you will go from here to here, sometimes you will break here for some time, then finally sometimes you will reach here. But you are wasting a lot of time here, because you don't have the proper guidance. And that is where our navigation comes into picture. We are navigating you to your journey, because this is you, and this is your CMA certificate. So we are acting as the navigator for you. This is one thing that you have to understand. This is a name, that is what the name Navigator suggests. And from my experience, let me tell you one thing. We have observed in the market, CMA is one course, even though it is very highly popular in India, but the study materials, guidance about how to approach your exams, each subject wise, or like the entire strategy, how to study, all these things are not that much present in the market. This is a very big problem. It is not there in the market. Even if it is there, like very few. You don't even have a really good study material too. Like, your study material from your institute is there. If you take my subject auditing, it's like 850 page study material. How can a student study 850 page? And like, an auditing is a paper where you have to like memorize this theory as well. Understand, then memorize, audit clarity. But still, 850 pages, how can you memorize it? This is what you need to understand. How can you memorize it and study? Practically, I'm asking you. It's very tough, right? And there are no other third party materials also in town. Like very few are there, but that is also not that good as it seems. That is another area where it is lacking. So lot of areas for CMA final students, just understand this. You guys are lacking on this small. It's not your fault. It's because of the market issue. These things are there. So that is where we have specifically tailored this program with very good 6-7 faculties for different subjects who are experts in their own domain, who will be coming you and guiding you regarding their subjects. Not only just they'll just like me or any other faculty will not just come and teach you and go. That is not how it works. Teaching will be there anyways. Teaching, there is nothing to say about teaching. We'll definitely teach. But exam oriented teaching and normal teaching is different. That is one thing you have to understand. Normal teaching is the best way to go with, but if it is not exam oriented, it will be like, just think, your 850 page CMA cost audit book is there. I mean, cost and management audit. And I am going and simply teaching you this 850 pages. Will that work? No. That is not how you teach in the modern era. If it was 10-20 years back, it was fine. But now you have to teach that and you have to say these are the criteria that will be coming for examination and these are the important stuffs. Or you study this, you don't study this, this is a priority area. Lot of these kinds of strategy building in each subject and the total group wise is required. This is where we will be coming and helping you because we are not that experienced on that. Or if you are not taking the navigation route, okay, it's fine, because I told you can go from anywhere. Anyway, you can go from here to CMA. Nobody is stopping you here. But if you take the guidance, then it's a simple straight route. You can reach it easily. But if you don't take the guidance, sometimes you may be brilliant, you will be able to reach it like this. We don't know. But normally sometimes students go like this. This is a problem. And sometimes they even stop in between as well. Like tired, don't know what to do. So stop wasting this attempt without the proper guidance. Just get the guidance. And now let me tell you this. Who are our faculties, all these things you will understand from this. Yeah. And our batch specifically, this is for these two attempts, December 25 and June 26, or any few for the future attempts you can take. It's your wish. So this is my subject, auditing. I will be coming in. All the other faculties are experts in their own domain. If you look at IDT, Tharun sir is taking. If you look at DT, Punarvas sir is taking. Then Gautam Jain sir is taking on law. Everyone is like experienced guys. Then CFR will be taken by Vittal sir. Tawfiq sir will be taking SFM and SPM BV. And Prashant sir will be taking SCM. So this is our faculty pool for your group 3 and 4 classes. And if you ask me about, don't worry, I'll explain about costing, cost audit, all these things, don't worry. So, and this class will be purely on online live basis. Online live basis. It's not offline, is not available. Only online will be available. And the timing will be, and all these things you can, and if you want further information, you can just dial the number that, any information you want on this, you just ring us here. Our team is more than happy to help you out. So, I don't want to waste too much time explaining the stuff. Just let me just see whether it is recording. Okay. Then, batch will be starting from 10th July. So, normally, this is group 4. This is my subject area. So, this group 3 subjects will be coming on the morning session of the classes, like AM classes, 6:30 to 8:30 AM. 2.5 hours max class will be the 2 hours. So what is the benefit of attending classes like this? Like 2 hours in the morning and group 4 classes coming in the evening, 2 hours in the evening. Why we have put it like this is because lot of students are attending their offices also. So we should not clash the office timings. So easily you can take revision classes in the morning, because first of all, bro, understand one fact. If you want to achieve something big in life, you have to do the sacrifice, because today's generation, I know the problem with students is that they'll be having office from 9 AM to say 6 AM in the evening, normal 6 or 7 AM, 7 p.m., 9 AM to 7 PM. The problem is that today's students, they are not ready to push beyond a certain limit. 9 to 6 in the office is making them so tired that they don't have the energy to attend the classes, further classes from 6:30 PM to 8:30 PM. That is a problem. This energy preservation is a very important thing in this area. So understand this one thing. We have made this class in this way because we want you to, it will be helpful for you to manage your office timing. So if you want to achieve something big, you have to do the sacrifices. Even if your energy is bad, come sit in the class or go, in your home, in your comfort space, open your laptop and watch it. What is the problem? You can lie down and watch it. Who's gonna ask you not to do it? No, right? So it's an online live class. So I would always prefer watch it live rather than buying a Google Drive or a pen drive, because faculty is there on live. Any doubt, any over explanation you want on something, ping him. Any faculty, everyone on this note is more than happy to help you out. Just make use of that situation. I would say it's better you go with live, and even if you could not complete live or some things happened, you'll be getting a 50% backup too. So don't worry on that. So our auditing classes will be coming in the evening, that is 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Don't worry, even if you are completely drained with your energy, just listen to me. You had the worst day in your office. Just think like that. Like your completely energy is drained. You cannot even stand. That is their scenario. You don't have the mind to watch even a YouTube video. Class is coming then later. But still you come to audit classes. I'll make you happy. That is because it's only 2 hours, bro. It's just 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day. You won't even, just in like 20 to 25 days, we will finish off auditing. And that too in a very entertaining manner. I'm not we have to teach like that. I also believe in that. If you are attending live, it will be like so much fun. Because nowadays I'm recording CA classes, so it's pure recording, so it's like boring for me. But if it's like someone is on live, then it's so good. We'll enjoy, we'll talk how your day was, all these things. Then that's how we teach and go. So it will be like a chill session for you as well after your office is there, because in those 2 hours we'll teach for like 1.5 hours, 145. Then another 15, 20, 30 minutes we'll talk how to manage studies, how to deal with stress. All these things comes in that. Anything that you need, like it's like a mentorship session too. You can consider it like that, and I'm more than happy to help you out on that. So that's also one more area that comes in, cost management audit. So I'll be teaching you, and this is a fee structure for auditing. Plus GST is also there. Understand this. For all the subjects, this is what the fee structure comes in. So I hope you got a. One more thing I need to speak about is the books provided for each subject. I told you, your CMA, in the market your study material is really good. Let me tell you, hands down, let me say, your CA inter study material for costing. I don't know for other subjects because I have not studied CMA, and I am a chartered accountant and auditing is my expertise area. So trust me on auditing. You come to me on auditing, whatever is there. And one more area, since it's cost management, costing is also one area that I loved. So this is perfect blend for me, and I'll show you how we'll teach all these things. But understand this one thing, books, your costing study material is a good book, but the problem is that lot of unwanted junk is there in your book. In that 850 pages, around 300 pages, we can simply tear it off and throw. Unwanted junk is there. Repeated content. Same content repeated again and again in 3-4 areas. What is the need for that? All these things are there. It's horrible. That is the only problem. Content is good. I'm not saying it is written in a it's written in a decent manner, like not decent, above average manner. It's well written than CA final auditing study material by Institute of Chartered Accountants. It's CMA audit book is much better than CA final book, like institute study material I'm saying. But the only problem is the junk is there. Like lot of things. How can you study this 800 page, this kind of a book? So that is why I will be providing, and for all these subjects, most of the subjects faculty will be providing their own material. For auditing specifically, let me say, so till now we said about the entire program. Now I'll say about our subject and me. Self-marketing for subject is important, right? So books are provided for each subject. Auditing, I'll be providing my book for cost auditing, cost and management audit. Like it will be divided into 4 parts: cost audit, management audit, internal audit, operational audit, and forensic audit. This department wise it will be structured in that way. And I am trying, like as of now, I'm working on it, and it will be like available very soon. So the thing is, you, all the relevant stuff for the exam, because there is one principle that I actually believe in. You don't have to study all the things to clear in a paper. Whatever is relevant for that, you need to study that more. And other things you need to focus. Like 80% of your attention should be focused on like 30 to 40. Like I don't believe in the Pareto principle. Pareto is like too much for me. But still, from your 852 pages of your cost and management, cost management audit, from your 852 page study material, there is hardly like 200 to 300 page max. If you study this perfectly, you can get like 100 marks question from this, or like at least 90 marks question. So studying this 852 pages better, or studying this 300 pages better. If you study 852 page, you may get 100, 125 marks, that optional marks question also. But to get that, bro, you have to study the double. So use smart approach. Be smart. That is what I'm saying. Be smart. Studying 300 pages and getting 90 marks, not even 90 marks, simply say like 85 marks. If you study 300 pages and you are getting 80 marks, and you are studying this and you are getting say 110 marks or 125 marks, still this is better, right? Because if you study 300 pages only, you can revise it 3 times. And especially this is a theory subject. Practical is only like very less now. Not very less, still it's there, but I'm saying theory focused subject. So you can revise it 3 times now. And this, if you study it 1 time, it's gone. You sometimes second revision also will not be possible. And this kind of a junk book, how will you revise it? And in the memory audit also, just understand one fact. When you are memorizing something, you have to understand something. There is not just like it's in a theory paper, don't just memorize everything with mnemonics. That's not how it works. You need to use different formulas. You need to use mnemonic should be used. You need to use pictographic way to remember. Picture of 1 page. Many techniques are there to remember auditing. I'll teach you all that. How to revise, how to recall, how to revisit. Why recalling is foolishness. First day, 2 days, don't recall anything. 3rd day onwards, you need to recall. There are many techniques like that. I'll teach you all that. Because all these small things you need to keep in your mind. Because this is what makes or breaks your attempt. It is not about how much you study. Because everyone who attempts, like at least 50% of the people who comes for an exam studies really well. From that only like 30-20% pass, right? And that people studies well, they know how to present the answer in the paper. They also know how to revise properly, how many times to revise, how to keep these things in your head in different areas. These things actually matters. It's not about how tough you studied or how hard you studied. Nobody cares. Because understand this one fact, it is the result that will speak. Whatever work you do, how much ever hard work you do, it's like bullshit. There will be a day when it will speak, but that will come like sometime 50 years after. I don't believe in that. I believe in only one thing. Result is what matters. So work on result. If you have not got the result, keep your head down and move out. Work again and come back. So understand this one thing. If you are finding this cost and management audit subject very tough for you, just come. We'll make it cool and easy. This is the only promise that I can give you. I'll be giving you my own study material. And one more thing that I can say, I will not change even like the sentences of your institute's language, like ICMA's language, because institute ICMA, because I'll tell you one more thing. When institute is giving a book, institute is giving a suggested answer, it will be specifically as per the study material, copy paste from that. So if you don't write in the same language of the study material, you will not get marks. That is why in my book, the language of your study material will only be there. It's like direct copy paste. I may have add some explanations here and there, but that will be highlighted. You will understand. That's the explanation from my side. So your ICMA study material language will be there. That is also another specification. I don't like to change the language. Even if it's tough, we have to learn tough, because that is what gives us the marks. It's not about how We may know the answer, everything, but if we write it in our language, everything, they will just cut it. They'll only look at the keywords and give the marks. So that for that you need to learn it in institute's language itself. That is also one more thing. So now let's take a look at the subject. Is it recording, right? Now let's take a look at the subject, cost and management audit. What do you need to understand from this cost and management audit? Cost and management audit. What are the topics coming under cost and management audit? Understand this one. First is cost audit will be specifically there for almost 50% of the subject. In your total exam paper, 50% will be from cost audit. Management audit will be 25%. Internal and operational audit will be 15%. Forensic audit will constitute 10%. See, cost audit. I have not said this. This is from your module. It is written. Cost audit, it is 50%. And these are the chapters coming under cost audit. Management audit, it will be 25%. Then internal audit, operational audit and other related issues, 15%. Forensic audit and anti-money laundering, it constitutes 10%. This is your weightage. This is what you have to understand. Then what are the types of different audits? I'm sneezing. What are the so today, before we jump on to teaching, I thought of giving you idea about what do you mean by this cost audit. What is actually, I was thinking about, should I take this 1 or 2 chapters or this chapter or some, because costing, anyways you have studied costing till now, so you know about costing. So I was planning to take some cost auditing and assurance standards or cost audit program, or I was planning to take these 2 chapters or this 1 chapter at least, like some video below 1 hour demo video. But I thought instead of teaching this, there may be a lot of students who don't know what is cost audit, what is management audit, what is internal audit, what is operational audit, what is forensic audit, what is normal audit, what is tax audit. We are going to teach about auditing. What are all these audits? How many number of audits are there? What are all these things? What is the difference between each audit? Tell me, if you are a CMA student, tell me what is the difference between each audit. Like whatever you know, I'll be teaching you anyways, whatever you know. So that is why I decided this is a basics class. So let me focus on basics. If you buy lecture or don't buy lecture, whatever it is, that is your thing. But at least you'll get an idea about the differences of each and every audit. So I thought of taking it like that. These are the different types of audit which you have to learn. Now, the audit that is done by a chartered accountant, you don't have to learn. So these are the audits you need to learn. You need to learn about cost audit in your first module, that is first 50% syllabus. Management audit is there, internal, operational, forensic audit. And if you, what happened? If you look at your syllabus, I'll explain each and every audit. Wait. If you look at your syllabus, how it is actually structured. 1 second. First, they will be giving a basics about cost audit. The practicals is mostly coming in this area. Management audit area, some practical is there. Normally this area, the practicals is coming. But still, here you will have to learn about the cost accounting standards, which you may have already learned. Cost accounting standards. So till now it is basically cost accounting area whose cost audit is applicable, all those things. Different rules, all these things. Refer report, CRA, all these things as mentioned. Then cost auditing and assurance standard. This is where the auditing comes into picture. Auditing. And then it's audit program, audit documentation, audit process, execution, everything. That I'll give you a brief idea about everything, don't worry. Then management audit. This is completely different thing. Management reporting, these are things that is coming. Internal control, internal audit. What is internal control? Let me ask. Nobody will know. What do you mean by internal control? You have studied in CA Inter, right? I mean CMA Inter, right? I have taught some students. If you have like CMA Inter, if you were my student in the past, tell me what is internal control. Simple stuff. It's very simple, but students may not know the meaning of that. I mean, they can explain the definition, but they don't know the meaning, actual meaning, true meaning. What does that mean? That is where the problem lies. So understand this. Now let's get into the concept builder session for CMA final auditing. Let's take. I'm not gonna because if you look into your book, all these audits, there are like very big definitions given. Cost audit, a very like 3, 4, 5 institutes definition, 5, 6 definitions are given in your material. Management audit also lot of definitions. Internal audit also lot of definitions. I don't want to explain any definition, and I'm not here to give you any meaning. That we will do it in the class when you have to study that. But now let me build some concepts for you. What is actually cost audit? What is actually managed? How these things are actually working in the market. So we will take one company for example, and for that company, how these things are getting applicable. This is one company for which everything is applicable. That is why I have taken this. You would have known this company called Boat. Earphone, smartwatch company, right? Boat. We have taken Boat today. So in the case of Boat, we'll talk about how actually Boat works, how cost auditing in Boat works, what is cost auditing, what is internal auditing, everything related to Boat only. So you'll understand it. Then it's very easy for you to memorize memorize means structure the thoughts about Boat in your mind. What is the difference between each and everything? So what is cost audit for Boat? Look here. Now I want everyone to have your attention onto the screen. What do you mean by cost audit? How much does it, I'm not giving you the definition, I'm giving you the idea. How much does it cost Boat to make one product? This is what is the essence of cost auditing. Boat earphone is there, and the earphone they are selling it for some AirDops, AirDops 131. These kinds of things are there. So these earphones Boat is selling in the market for say 2000 rupees. So Boat will have a cost to make this product, right? So auditing that cost records is what we call cost auditing. Auditing that cost records. So only certain class of companies are required to maintain this cost audit records. So they will have cost audit records. Normal other companies accounting records is what is maintained. Two types of records: cost records, accounting, normal accounting records. So for those companies for which cost audit is applicable, the auditor will come and look at this thing. How much cost does it take for that company to make one product? So Boat manufacturers earphone, headphone, speaker, smartwatch, all these are mass produced and imported, mass produced using imported and other components, raw materials, all this crap. Okay, so what are you doing? You imagine you are the cost auditor and I am also the cost auditor. We are going to audit Boat. So what are we gonna do there? Boat, Aman Gupta, the CEO of Boat, he came to me and told, Sudarshan, can you please do I am a chartered accountant, I cannot do the cost audit. Imagine I am a CMA. So Sudarshan, come do the cost audit. I'll say yes, yeah, I'm coming. What are the things that I'm going to do there? What is done in cost audit? Picturize this, what I'm saying. Picturize. I'm going to audit cost audit. Do the cost. What are the things? First, a cost auditor is appointed when Boat crosses the cost audit limits. That is like 10, 35 different limits are there. Then, as a consumer electronic company, cost audit is applicable. Okay, cost audit is applicable. Leave it. What are I going to do? What does the cost auditor check in cost auditing? For the case, this is just an example for Boat. What am I going to check? I'm the auditor. Okay. First, because what is my duty? My duty is to check the cost records. Cost per unit of product will be there, right? So my duty is to check this, whether the costing is done properly, whether it is as per the standards, all these things. Okay. So first I may look at these are some examples, not only this much, many other things we will be looking. This is just some example. First I may be looking at the bill of materials for each model. for boat airdrops, for boat, normally for earphones, they'll be need that plastic box, plastic material, all these things, some magnets, all these things. But for some watch, they may need some different raw materials. So I'll be looking at the bill of materials for each model, the earpods, this watch, all these things. Then I look at the cost of a Bluetooth chip, cost of battery, plastic casing. All these are material cost. I'll be looking at the material cost. I'll be auditing it properly. Whatever has been the purchase order, whether we have received things like that, and what is the cost. Is there any fraud in the cost that has happened? All these things I'll go and deeply measure, deeply check. Then first, this is like basically raw material area. Then I'll be looking at some labor area. What was the labor cost per unit? Labor people I hired to make the product, right? You would know all these things. You have studied it from practicals. Then what was the overhead cost involved in all of this? Then comparison with the standards. Like every day, budgets will be made, right? Like for example, similarly standard we will be making. My expectation, imagine at the beginning of the year, at the initial opening of the year, my plan was to make one earphone, like AirDops, AirPods, whatever, boat earphone at 1300 rupees. This was my standard cost I planned for it. But my actual cost at the end of the year became 1500. What was the reason for this variance? Everything I'll be checking in detail. Why there was a difference between the standard cost and the actual cost? All these things we'll be going very detailed in the cost audit. Variance analysis, why this batch was costlier. Sometimes I'll give you one more scenario, because from Aman Gupta's one interview, I think it was from Aman's interview, I guess it. I've heard about interview or podcast somewhere. I've heard this. Sometimes it's batch per batch. Now they are producing the goods in India. Producing goods in Atmanirbhar, producing this earphones in India. Atmanirbhar Bharat ho gaya. So they are producing things in India. Okay, that's fine. But before that, they were importing it from China. So he used to say sometimes due to some tensions between different India, China or different things, their first batch, if they imported certain goods batch on January, that batch will be cheaper. But in the next February, same thing, same quantity, same thing, but the batch will be expensive because of foreign exchange fluctuations, because of some duties. Sometimes the India-China clash will happen. So what will happen? India will put some sanction on China's, or India will increase the import duty from China. If we are importing something, we'll have to pay more duty. And who is the affecting? Boat is getting affected. So same product, same quantity, when they are importing also, it is different prices coming in. So these, Aman Gupta has said about something related to this. I have heard this. So as an auditor, sometimes when we are looking at things, when we are looking at the cost records, we may see one batch of products, one batch of earphones or one batch of headphones. Like say it was 1000 quantity. 1000 quantity was made at say 1300 rupees per unit. So it was 1300. This was the amount. 13 lakhs was the cost. But the same product in the next batch was made at 1400 because of some labor shortage, because of some issues will be there. So it is your duty to audit and see whether it is actually correct. Whatever they are saying is correct. You need to get evidence, proof about all those things. Okay, you need to plan with an audit program. You need to have a team. All this auditing things comes in that. So this is what is called cost audit. You'll be checking the cost of product as per cost accounting standards, cost auditing standards. Then now let's look at one more thing. What is the outcome of the cost audit? You finished the cost audit. You started the cost audit, did the cost audit, finished the cost audit. Now what is your next thing? 1 second. That is a recording, right? Now tell me, what is the outcome of this cost audit? CMA prepares a cost audit report. In case of most of the audits, once audit is done, we will prepare an audit report about how we did the audit. I mean, how we did the audit, what was the conclusions we have as an auditor from doing the audit, everything will be mentioned in this report, cost audit report, with the findings and suggestions like reduce the weightage of speaker units, 5% scrap, all these things. Our suggestions, everything can be mentioned. Okay. Then, what is internal audit? That is the next thing. What is internal auditing? What do you mean by internal auditing? Tell me. Cost auditing, I told you, we are analyzing the cost records. What is internal auditing? Internal auditing means are controls working properly inside board, or not only controls, it is basically like an auditing which is done inside the company by a person inside the company. Think like that. I am a chartered accountant. I have two options. Either I can become the statutory auditor of both, like once in a year I'll come independent auditor, I'll do the audit and go. That is normal auditing, leave that. Internal auditing will be both will hire some chartered accountants and keep them in the, not only chartered accountants, other professionals too, or expert. They'll hire these professionals and employ them in both. They are employees of both. And it is the duty of these people to check whether everything, operations, everything, not only the operations, the controls inside the company, everything is happening properly. They'll do an auditing that is inside the company. They'll cross check everything. Because this management will be doing different departments. Lot of people will be doing financial reporting works, different works in company. Different departments will be there. So these internal auditors will go and check are internal controls working properly in both. He'll also check related to financial reporting aspects, controls aspects. Many areas he'll basically do a routine checkup, like a routine checkup every day, every period. They'll have a certain period upon which they'll do this check. Have this internal auditing happening. So, and what do you mean by controls? Let me ask you that. What do you mean by controls? You may have, some of you may know from Inter, but everyone should know it. But it depends upon your conceptual clarity at CMA Inter. Sorry. What are controls? Controls means just understand. These kinds of lot of tricky words are there in auditing. Some students may know, may not know. They may not know about anything like this. They were just simply memorizing and going. If this subject 1 year back, when the practical portion in the subject was more, students used to just study and go that and pass. They'll not even study the theory paper. Right? They'll not study. But there are a lot of these kinds of technical small words, test of detail, substantive procedure. Yeah, that is not that much in this. That is in CA. I'm just saying. So, complex words are there. I'll be giving you the meanings of all of that as well. So, are controls working properly in inside boat? What do you mean by that? Controls means, let's take, controls means something that is engaged by the company, something that is employed by the company to protect their assets, safeguard their assets or the operations, everything. Simple example. This is boat's godown. When they are making this earphones, all these things, they'll put it in a godown, right? In a warehouse will be there. And they are keeping all their goods in the godown. And this is one door, opening of godown. So how will boat make sure that the employees will be there? These people who are loading it there and not unloading all these people. Sometimes this earphone is like a small thing. Why can't a person open the one box and put one earphone in his pocket and go? Or 10 earphones in the pocket and go and sell it on OLX? Employees can do that, right? So how will boat protect them? Boat will put a control. They will put some CCTV here. So CCTV is something that is preventing from any fraud or something happening in the company. Or sometimes they will put some fingerprint scanner here. Only people with their authorization can only enter. Or some weekly counting will be there. Every week they'll just count their inventory stock. All this, or sometimes some supervisor will be there to look after this. who will look at each boxes and make sure none of the boxes are opened. All these things. So all these are internal controls. You heard about bank reconciliation. It is actually a control. CCTV, it is a control. Your car is having an airbag. Like if it hit, airbag will open. It is a control to protect your life. That is related to life. Why is your phone having a lock? The lock is because it is a control from nobody opening it. So similarly in businesses, these are all controls related to personal life. If you have some gold, you will put it in a locker and lock it and keep the key in your pocket, right? That locker is a control. You are controlling something. Similarly in businesses, there are lots of controls. One supervisor to look after 4 employees. 4 employees are there. This person will be looking after each of them. So this person is a control. This one person sends the money of company for different accounts. Like he is a purchase manager. So when the company is purchasing something, he will say he is the one who sends the money. So whether he is sending everything correct or not, there will be someone on top of him, some senior manager who will check him. So this senior manager is a control. Or some software will be there to cross check him. He is a control. And there will be someone on top of them, that is internal auditor. So internal auditor is a person who will check whether all of these controls are working properly. Because if every control is working properly, every organization is running smoothly. Controls will be something to look after something. If every control is working properly, organization is running smoothly. So it is internal auditor's duty to look after all the whether all the controls are working properly. So what will an internal auditor do? First phase of his auditing, he will plan. He will understand the company's process, how the purchase, payment, production, sales, everything is happening. The moment he joins the company, moment he starts internal audit, he can be inside the company or can be outsourced. He can be in-house or outsourced. I told you, he can be either an employee of the company or it can be normal CA or CMFM. Like these people, company will hire them for 2 months and do the internal audit. That can also happen, in-house or outsourced, no problem. Anything is fine. First, he will plan the audit. He'll see what is the purchase, the payment, the production, sales, HR, everything he'll take a look at. Then, phase 2, he will see the controls. He sees every company having proper controls, ordered only after the proper approval. All these things he will look at. This is what is coming under internal control. He'll see whether inventories have proper controls. Whether inventory means stock, whether it has proper control, CCTV, supervisor, fingerprint, all these things are there. He will check all of that. Then for reporting also, he will check whether internal auditor gives report to management every quarter. Lots of things. Once his auditing is finished, he will prepare a small report and he will give the suggestions, all these things. Whether the risk is high, whether the controls are operating good or bad, everything. You have to understand all of these things. Okay. Then, what do you mean by operational audit? That is the next thing. Cost auditing, we were checking at the cost records only. Costing, cost per unit, what was the problems in that, all these things. Internal auditing, we are checking the controls mostly. Controls or reporting controls or everything. Then, operational auditing, what are we going to check? Operational auditing, what are we going to check? Operational auditing means, is boat running efficiently? We have taken one example, boat, only boat. In the first case, we were looking at the cost per unit of each product of boat. Boat earphone, what was the cost, what was the standard cost, what was the actual cost, all this. And we will be auditing that, whether it is why the fluctuation happened, whether there is any fraud, everything. Then internal auditing, we will be looking at the internal controls of boat, whether CCTV, whether senior supervisor, everything was there to protect boat, warehouse, everything. Now we are looking at operations of boat. Operational audit of boat. Is boat running efficiently? Scenario, boat is launching 5 to 6 new products every quarter. Speed, quality, cost efficiency are key to growth. Sometimes boat, what the problem is that boat maybe, I told you boat is manufacturing in India. With the Chinese imported products, that is different case, but something at least. I think almost manufacturing is happening. I don't know how it is actually done in India. Basically, manufacturing is happening in India. So in that case, how it is actually done? Is it done in an efficient manner or not? That is a question. Boat is launching 5 to 6 new products every quarter. Every quarter they are launching new earphones. AirPods 191 Plus, earphone 321 Pro. This is like this Google Bluetooth 5.1. All these some extra features. When the IPL comes, they'll launch with IPL edition. Boat will be launching lot of products like this, right? So for making these products, are the operations inside of the boat? Operation means when a purchase, like when we imagine I am purchasing a boat earphone, I go to Flipkart, place the order. When the moment the order reaches the boat, that from there the operation is starting. It has to go to the warehouse where the product has to be taken and given to Flipkart. Then packaging should be, before that packaging should be happening, address should be mentioned. Lot of operation is happening in that. Imagine the person who is writing my address, who is printing my address there. If he, instead of my address, if he places someone else's address or just the pin code error, I will not receive the product and I will give a bad review. Entire company is gone. Like if lot of people start giving like that. So operations is very crucial for a company. Operations, and that is one area. So company may be having lot of operations. When the moment company receives a purchase order or like a purchase order, like a payment, because it's Flipkart, company receives a purchase, then from them lot of things are actually happening inside the company. Just think how a purchase happens. When the boat, this is a boat, product is made, then from here they have to package it. They have to pack it. From here they have to address it. Address is name, all these things. Then here, from here they have to dispatch it. Then from here it goes to the courier partner like DTDC, all these people. This is after production. Then before this there are raw material, labor, all these things, and production is happening. I talked about production. So these are all operations of boat. Is this things running efficiently? So in this operational auditing, we will be looking at all the individual operations boat is having and seeing whether they are handling efficiently. Imagine here packaging and writing the address. Here there are 3 people. Here there are 3 people who were sitting and packaging. Just think, when boat was a small company, and address writing there is only 1 person. What is actually happening? Think. 3 people will like 3 in 1 minute. 3 packages are packed and given. 1 person will give 1 package, another person. So 3 package comes here in 1 minute. But here is only 1 person is there. How much package can he seal the address in 1 minute? So what happens? So at this stage, lot of package gets accumulated because here only 1 person is there. So to make the production operation more efficient, here also put 3 people. So whatever these people are writing, then the people are packaging. These people can easily address it and go. So understand that one thing. That is one important, crucial thing which you need to understand. So that is what we look at operational auditing. Are all the operations running smoothly? Look at here. Production line efficiency. Production line, that is from raw material to work in progress to adding all those things. One entire production line will be there like this. You have learned about the cellular manufacturing, all these things like production line. Is there any inefficiency happening? I'll give you one very big example of operational audit. Wait. Then procurement, lead time to get the chips component like 30 days. That is like a huge day. If I can get it in 20 days, I can manufacture more fast, I can sell more fast. There won't be shortage in the products. So all these things will be checked in the operational auditing. It is done in operational auditing. So when you do the operational audit only, then only you can identify the areas where there are weaknesses. Here in the production line, here it was a weakness. Here it was a big weakness. 3 people packing and 1 person addressing only. Sticking on the packing place, writing the address, only 1 person is there. So what happens? He can only write address on 1 package in 1 minute. Here 3 people will put 1 package in 1 minute. So 3 package comes, only 1 package is going out in 1 minute. So here gets accumulation and operation is gone. So this is one area I told. Basically, production area is what they are emphasizing more. Operation means everything, and from here marketing, all these things comes in operations. Then marketing ROI, I spend 1 crore on Instagram ads and I am only getting 1 crore, 1.1 crore in sales. How can that be efficient? This is the problem with most of the companies now. These news, because if you go to Instagram, when you're swiping through reels or stories, you will get lot of ads, right? This new t-shirt company, if you are a girl, then lipstick, all these things ad will be coming. And these companies are spending crores on ads. Here see, if they are spending 1 crore on ads, sometimes the entire sales or profit will be 1.1 crore sometimes. That's like a weak thing. So sometimes they don't identify that. They'll see like, okay, I got 1 crore sale, wow, but they're spending 1 crore on ads and getting 1 crore sale. So what is the cost of one sale? Cost of one sale is 1 rupee. One sale cost, it's not cost of acquisition. So what is actually happening? It's not efficient. You will identify these things only when you are doing an operational audit. So it is advisable that all these new age startups, all these companies need to do operational audit. Then what is the outcome? The report is shared with the chief operating officer, operations officer or operations head. Then the factory utilization is 60%. It can increase to 85% by second shift. Do a third shift. All these advices we can give. Then bulk purchase will give more, discounts are not availed, 20 lakh lost annually. So when you are purchasing raw material, you have two options. Either you can purchase, the decisions comes, if we purchase it in bulk. Normally what happens in the companies, every month the company will purchase 10 lakh raw material. Every month the company is purchasing 10 lakh raw material. But and here company is not getting any discount. But the supplier told, if the company purchase 30 lakh raw material in one time, they will give you a 20% discount. So what is actually better? So here company should buy every 3 months 30 lakh. So he will be getting 20 lakh discount. And this 20% discount. This 20% is anyways, this amount will be way more than the opportunity cost, like the time value of money, opportunity cost lost before, like spending 10 lakhs early. But still this is better. I guess, like no calculation, simply saying. Okay, you understood what it is. Now let's take a look at what do you mean by management audit. One example of operational audit I'll give. I'll give one very big example. Financial audit is not required for it. It's not required. Management auditing means our board's decision making, our board leaders making the right decision. Management auditing means who makes decision in a company? Management. Because this is the company's structure. Imagine this is a company. Top there will be shareholders. Then we will have someone called those charged with the governance. Then he will have management. Then we will have employees, and then we will have the last laborers, like the lower level employee. Company is run by these people, and sometimes these people give their decision something to TCWG and they look after them, but mostly company is run by management. So all the decision, that is whether company board needs funding, whether board needs urgent funding, it's a very important requirement, or whether board needs any loan, all these decisions are taken by the management. Many decisions like this, or shall we expand it to China, or shall we expand it to USA, our operations to USA, shall we list on Amazon, shall we delist from Amazon. These are the strategies, these things are taken by management, right? These things are taken by the management. So management audit means an auditing. Audit, what is mean by auditing? Auditing just means checking. Since you studied auditing in Inter, that is why I don't explain auditing. Auditing means you are checking whether everything is correct or not. So what is management auditing? Are board's leaders making the right decision? Board's leaders will be making so much decisions. Are they making the right decision? They told, okay, from now we are stopping all the sales on Amazon. We'll like Amazon we are stopping, and we'll only concentrate on our website only. So that is one decision. So management auditor, when they are doing the audit, he has to look the impact of this decision. Last year when Amazon sale was there, the sale of company was 300 crore. But this year when our website, when Amazon is cut and only our website is there, the sale is only 150 crore. So that means company lost a lot of money here. And this is a foolish decision. Or sometimes they can say like this, and in this 300 crore, this 300 crore, we won't get any money. Commission of 30% was going to Amazon. We were only getting 70% money. But this 150 crore entire is our money. So even though this year if it's 150, but next year it may go to 300. And we'll get the 100% money. So this thing is better. Something like that. Management will make decisions according to this. Different things. So management auditor is a person who need to check whether these decisions taken by the management is correct or not. What was the impact of their decisions? Would they have taken this decision in a better way? What was a better impact? All these things are checked by management. Management auditor. Got it, right? Like strategy, evaluating the strategies taken by the company. Board is planning to expand globally. Strategic decisions are critical. Should the company expand or should focus on India and kill noise JBL every company? Now board has killed every company, but now is it the right time for board to expand or should wait in India for 2 more years to completely dominate the Indian market? These decisions are strategic decisions, and the management auditor is the person who looks after the strategic decision, whether this decisions was correct or not. Strategic decision making, delay in smartwatch launch. Why? All these things. Policy implementation, new return policy, new HR policy, CEO's vision, actual execution versus actual execution. CEO's vision was to make about 1,000 crore company in this year and with a presence in three global countries. That was CEO's vision. But what ultimately happened at the end of the year? The sale was 300 crores and not even scalable to another company. So what was the CEO's vision versus what actually happened? Management auditor will cross check all of this and will give them a realistic perspective. Bro, this is how it is. Then management audit report will be presented to the board of directors. That is, board is coming under this TCWG. I told you like this in this shareholder TCWG management. Board of directors comes in TCWG. Then management, then all these things. Then forensic auditing. Forensic auditing means if some fraud or something happened, a detailed, we'll just, in other all normal audits, cost auditing, we are auditing the entire cost record. Internal auditing, we are fully looking at the controls and other aspects. Management auditing, all the decisions taken by management will be looking. Then forensic auditing means, here in the entire company, sometimes some fraud has happened in some debtor or loan area or any area, like particular area in the company, a fraud happened. Just picking that one area and deeply examining that and finding out what was the fraud, that is forensic audit. Forensic, if a murder happened, if one guy killed another guy, what is forensic department will immediately come next day, right, to take the fingerprint, because what is forensic doing? One murder happened, they are observing and getting all the evidence, fingerprints, some DNA reports, hair strands, all these things from that murder site, footprints, everything to identify that culprit. Same thing in forensic audit also. Here also some fraud or something happened, fraud or error or something bad happened in the company. Imagine it related to some loan or debtors or something. Forensic auditor will come and just pinpoint, identify that fraud. He will see only things that are necessary for that fraud. Only auditing that one fraud. Not the entire company, not the entire India, nothing. Whatever is relevant for that murder, that fraud, he will be auditing. That is forensic audit. Has any fraud or misconduct happened in the company? Is there any, like 100%, even if there is a chance of fraud, like they think a fraud happened, forensic audit will come. Not 100% sure. 100% sure it's nothing. They have some doubt that there is a fraud or an error in loan or debtors. Anything. Company will call a forensic auditor. Forensic auditor will come and do deep checking and see whether there exists a fraud or error. Company has a doubt that whether there is a fraud or error in loan or debtor or anything. Whether there is a fraud or error. Something. Fraud. Basically fraud, not error. Fraud is mostly coming. Fraud. Because See, I'll give you a simple example for this, or this is enough. I don't want to waste too much time on this. So a whistleblower emails board alleging an employee is diverting shipment of unsold stock. Some unsold stock. This happened recently in Kerala. There is a very famous vlogger called Diya Krishna. If you go on YouTube and you can search, you'll get her name. This is a famous, very famous vlogger called Diya Krishna. And she had a jewelry store. What was the name of it? Something. She had a jewelry store. And this jewelry store had two or three employees was there, ladies. And this company had a lot of stock of material was kept. And this Diya Krishna was not looking after the business properly. So these employees, what they did, they took the stock and sold on their own to outside people. And they were making money. So, but Diya Krishna may not be knowing this. But one day when Diya Krishna came, till whatever I've told till now is what actually happened. Now we'll take this to forensic auditing case. So one day Diya Krishna was thinking, Diya Krishna suddenly come to their office, and they understood that 5 minutes. And one thing they came to the office, and she understood that a lot of stock is missing, but sales has also not happened. So what is it? She suspected a fraud. She suspects a fraud. Now she says, oh my God, some fraud has happened. Something is bad. So now Diya Krishna will call a forensic auditor because she is now suspecting a fraud. A whistleblower is happening. So now she will call a forensic auditor. Forensic auditor will come and a forensic auditor will audit this fraud area and he will identify the fraud. That is forensic audit. What happens in forensic audit? A trigger, a complaint is received, a red flag is noticed. Here, a red flag, she don't know whether a fraud occurred or not. She just knew like the inventory is missing. So she saw a red flag. No sale happened, but the stock is missing. So that is a red flag. When a red flag happened, she called the forensic auditor. He'll come and do the audit. It should not be fraud. You should not be 100% sure that it is a fraud. Then call forensic auditor. No. If you have a red flag noticed, call on a forensic auditor. He will identify it. And the outcome will be like this. The financial audit is normal audit. CS audit is not relevant for you. So these are basically the 3, 4, 5 types of auditing that is relevant for you. I hope you got the clarity. Just to summarize, cost auditing, you will be auditing the cost records. Management auditing, management's decision taken. All the strategic decisions taken by management, one auditor. Auditor means auditor is a checker. He's a checker. He will be coming and checking everything. Then internal auditing, internal controls, all these things. Then operational auditing, operations of the company, and forensic auditing. If you notice a red flag for any fraud, you can do that. So I hope you got a clarity on different types of auditing. And one thing that I wanted to say to you is that this is just a basic video. But when the actual lecture comes, you are also there in front of me. It will be more interactive. Here I am just sitting and recording. It is not that interactive session for me. But when you are sitting in front of me, then it's like fun for us, both of us. I mean, all of us sitting there. We'll create a community and we'll study and go. That is how it should be, right? So that's all from my side, and see you tomorrow. And I'm not see you tomorrow. Hopefully, all those students who are watching this, CMA final students, I hope we can see face to face or through live lectures one day. And if you have any query related to the lecture, you can post it down in the description box. That is one thing. Then one more thing you can do, if you have any doubts or things, you can ping us on this number. And our team is more than happy to help you. And one more thing I forgot to tell you, if you want to take group classes, you will be getting an additional 10% discount for enrollment. Per subject wise also you can take classes. If you want only IDT, if you want only auditing, if you want only SPMB, you can take accordingly, whatever you want. Like DT law, whatever it is. Okay. So that's it, guys. Hoping to see you guys in CAMA final cost and management audit lecture. And like this is nothing. Like we'll see. That's it. Bye bye, and make a wise decision.